Hey everybody, I'm Dees Hinton, the owner of Central Mississippi Real Producers, and welcome to our podcast today. Today is a special day, actually. We're coming to you today on Valentine's Day, so I've got on the red for Valentine's, and I don't know about purple, but anyway. Pink, okay.
And purple's a Valentine's color.
It is. Okay. I'm outnumbered on that one. But anyway, welcome. And we're excited about today's guest that we have today. First of all, let me introduce Gingerlyn Wallace, who is our Creative Marketing Director at Central Mississippi Real Producers. And she's also the owner. She has her own empire there that she is over with G Designs, interior decorating and staging business. And then also today, our guest is going to be Nita Durrell, who has her own empire as well.
For sure.
Very successful real estate agent here in our Central Mississippi area. And we're excited to talk to her, hear what's on her heart, and share with us today. At Central Mississippi Real Producers, or I should say at Real Producers across the country, we're all about celebrating real estate agents. That's what we do. Enhance the relationship of the top producing real estate agents and also to help connect the top agents with top industry professionals. And that's what we do. We're all about relationships. And so podcasts are now a way of communicating, and this is probably number 10 or 11 or so podcasts that we've done so far. Yeah. So, but anyway, I'll kick it over to you, Gingerlyn, and let you get us started.
We'll take off. Well, Nita, we're so glad to have you here. Thank you for agreeing to meet with us and come on our podcast and tell us a little bit more about your story. Yes. I've just recently kind of got to know you.
Yes.
We got to work on a secret project that we can't tell you a whole lot about.
Maybe a little bit.
Just a little bit. Okay, so, well, I'll let you talk about that just for a sec.
So again, thank you so much for having me here today. It means a whole lot as, the broker owner of Durrell Realty Group. But it was great to have you a part of that project. We're actually looking at producing something really special for the folks here in Central Mississippi. So that's all I can say about it.
That's all she can say.
But we're working on it, and I can't wait to share it with everybody.
So that's how we've just gotten to know each other and wanted to share that. But Nita, as she just said, is the owner and broker at Durrell Realty Group.
That's right.
So let's start there. Tell us a little bit about your company and just kind of like how long you've had that. And then we'd love to dive into
how I got there.
Your backstory.
So I am the broker owner for Durrell Realty Group. Like I said earlier, we are located in Flowood. My mission or my goal with my company was to provide a place for professionals to grow and to provide excellent service to those looking to either sell or purchase. So this is my baby, something that I grew since 2017.
Okay.
Actually launched it from Boston. I was in Boston with my husband on a business trip, and I pressed the button, and we were live and ready to serve Central Mississippi.
That's amazing. Okay, so let's start back at the beginning. Who is Nita Durrell growing up?
Oh, wow. I would like to think that I'm the same person.
Yeah.
Anybody that knew me back in high school, middle school, they would probably say that I was someone with a lot of energy. Excited.
That's definitely still true.
Excited about life, and believe it or not, I was a cheerleader.
Okay,
so that was my passion. That was my heart. I grew up in Crystal Springs. So that's a small little town. I love that community. I love that I had the opportunity to grow up in a small town. Right. It's the community there that helps to grow you.
Sure.
That's where I started, Crystal Springs.
Which is not too far from here. It's about an hour?
Less than an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, less than an hour.
30,
yeah.
45 minutes.
If you've ever heard of Wilson Meat House, you know exactly where we are. That's a big thing down there in Copiah County.
I actually have been out there a couple times. I worked on a camp house for a client. We did a remodel, and they use it for a hunting It's a beautiful property out there, and it's just it's pretty out there. They've got the river that runs through their property. I don't even know what river it is, but maybe it's Crystal Springs. I'm just kidding. I don't know. But anyway, it's beautiful, and just being out there where the land is open, and so I know a little bit about Crystal Springs.
Yes, I love it. That's hometown. But from there, I decided to go to Mississippi State.
Okay.
So go Bulldogs.
All right.
There, I studied communications.
Okay.
And I met an amazing guy there, Mr. Greg Durrell.
Aw. Seems like it worked out.
Yes. Happy Valentine's Day, honey. I love you. But met him there. He was actually studying architecture.
Okay.
And from there, I got an internship at WCBI in North Mississippi.
Okay. And that is a
TV station.
TV station.
A TV station right next to the W. Okay. I think they're calling it something else now.
Have they changed the name? I know
I think they're working on it.
Okay.
I don't know what it is yet.
Okay.
But
It'll always be the W, though.
Yeah. But I started there at WCBI. I was interning.
Right.
And I was one of those that I knew this was my job. I was going to do it. And bless the director's heart, because I worked his nerve every day until he found a spot for me. And so finally I came in one day and he was like, Nita, you have a job. So I landed a job at WCBI. I was a reporter.
Okay.
Now, I was one of those. I wanted to know how everything worked. I wanted to know all the little pieces. For me, I could do a better job if I knew how your job worked, right? So I went up to account executive. I learned that, they were the ones bringing in the money. So it mattered,
Right.
I, sat with the director, the producers, the engineers, everybody. So I had an opportunity to really learn the business.
I love that.
Yes. And so I then was promoted to weekend anchor.
Okay.
So I was producing and hosting the shows on the weekend.
And were you still in school at this time?
Well, at this time I'd graduated.
You had graduated.
So I had worked through the summer interning, and I made sure.
Yes, moved right on in.
Yes, I did, and I loved it. I love being able to interview people, hear their stories, and then at the end of that, I was able to take that, package that up, and share it with the world. So that meant a lot to me. Some of the video that I shot ended up on CNN, which was pretty cool. I really enjoyed that, working on that. And then later, my amazing then boyfriend, Greg, proposed to me. And so we ended up moving back to Central Mississippi in Clinton. And I started working for Fox 40. Okay. Now, this is where my life gets really interesting.
Okay, and about what year are we right now?
Oh, goodness. 2007, 2008, somewhere around there. Right. So working for Fox 40, and but I started an account executive. Okay. So, which was great because prior to that, I had learned a little bit about it. So I was stepping into familiar grounds. Sure. Fox 40 then decided that they were going to start a news station. And guess who moved downstairs?
There you go.
So I had an opportunity to produce and be a reporter. So I did that. And in that season, while I was out reporting at the Capitol, I had a guy to approach me while I was interviewing a state representative. And he says, have you ever thought about being in public relations? And I said, well, no, I have not. But after giving it some thought, I decided to start my own business. This was my first foot into entrepreneurship. So I started my own business and started doing PR work. Now, this could have been really, really, really scary. But I'm a firm believer in that whatever season you're in, God gives you exactly what you need.
Absolutely.
Amen.
So I took the approach that, okay, I've been in TV. I know this, right? So I said, okay, I know what I would be looking for as a reporter. So if I'm going to do PR, I know what to give that reporter to give them so that they would publish or use what I'm giving them. So I just used everything that I knew at that time to be successful at that job. So I had an opportunity to work at the Capitol, to work with our state representatives on the Senate side. I got a chance to really see how politics work and kind of pull the curtain back a little bit, which was great. The networking, just watching how policy flow. So that was just, it was an amazing season for me during that time. But while doing that job, I had an opportunity then to go on and work on different campaigns and just to really do some good work around the state. Okay. So that was really, really awesome. And while doing that, I got a call from one of our largest state agencies to come there and to work with them doing some marketing and PR.
Okay.
And that lasted very short because I got called upstairs to work with then the executive director.
Everybody just keeps going, ooh, this girl's good. Let's get her over here.
But I think it was just kind of using, again, every season I was in, I used the gifts, the talents that God gave me to open the door for whatever was next. Sometimes it's scary in doing that. Right. But I think when you know who you are, you know where your strength comes from. Right. You push forward.
And so, you know whenever a door opens, okay. Yeah. I'm supposed to do this.
Yes, absolutely. And so there working at that state agency, I think was probably one of my proudest projects. And I say that because I was able to help a lot of people across the state. Working as
what kind of work were you doing?
So I was the legislative liaison for the executive director. Okay. Also had an opportunity to work in the communications department. It was just one of those where I had opportunity just to do so much. Mm-hmm. Like I could have my hand in a lot of things. Mm-hmm. One of the biggest projects I had there was, I think sometimes in any business, the ones that get overlooked are our front desk receptionist people. When you're in those positions, you don't really have anywhere to go or climb, right? Sure. So I was able to create a program that allowed each receptionist or secretary in these little places across the state to go through a training program. And at the end of that program, they were able to get a bump in pay. The program was approved by PERS. So that was something that we had worked really hard on to provide that professional development. Wow. And in their commitment, they were able to see an increase. And so that mattered to be able to touch that many people across the state. Wow. So that, to me, that's one of my proudest moments working there. Yeah. And so while I was there, my experience that I had with a realtor when we moved down to Central Mississippi was one of the reasons why I got into real estate.
So like you were looking for a house?
Yes, okay. yes. So when we moved down, we used the same realtor that my husband's brother used. Okay. And so she worked with us to find our first home in Clinton, where my little babies, well, they're big girls now. They're 9 and 10. They go to school. I've got a soccer player and a dancer. Yeah. So they're on two opposite ends of the spectrum. So yeah, they keep
both
us.
Girls.
Yes, both girls.
Okay.
Addison Grace and Ariel Faith.
Oh, love this.
Yes. But where was I? I know. Where was I? Well, getting into real estate.
Okay, so you had your opportunity to create that program, and then you had a great experience with a realtor. That then led you to
getting into real estate.
Okay.
But during that time, I had to balance working for the state during the day and then doing real estate at night.
So you just thought, hey, I think I want to try this out while I'm doing the communication stuff.
Yeah, there was some thought put in it, some time. If you know my husband, he is one that, prays really hard before making a decision. And I always kid about, he prays about it, he takes it to God and comes back and prays about it again and then takes it back to God. And then, he's waiting for, that word from him. And that I do appreciate. Wow. But I'm one of those, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go ahead. So we balance each other. Right, we definitely balance each other.
We all need those people in our lives to go, slow down.
Yeah. So we did. There was some thought put into it, and I remember just like it was yesterday. He's sitting on the floor, and I'm sitting in our little office putting together the plan, and we worked quite a while because he wanted to make sure that if whatever step we're taking, let's make sure that we've got a plan in place, and that I do appreciate. We worked very hard on putting a plan in place, and not to mention during this time. He left his job and started his own company.
Okay.
So we are both, rolling into something new, something that's uncertain. You don't have that steady paycheck.
Right. Ooh, I know. So, we talked about this before. That's it's scary.
It does.
I need that 401k. I need the health insurance. I need.
Absolutely. Because for him, I remember, just kind of working out of the dining room. I remember people coming by with their little books to show samples in the dining room. And I look at, where he is now. And so just super proud of him. He's definitely somebody that I
So he started his own architecture firm back then and is still doing that today.
Yes. He is, he's Durrell Design Group and I'm Durrell Realty Group.
I love it.
And he is doing phenomenal. Awesome. I'm so proud of him. Yes.
Awesome.
Okay, so you decided, hey, we're going to give this real estate thing a shot. So what did that look like starting out?
It was hard. It was difficult. You had to really be on top of time management. Whenever I could catch a break, I was working on getting that plan together. But once I decided to actually launch the business, it was, coming home and working 5 hours on real estate, working on finding new clients.
Right.
I will tell you, and it had to be by the grace of God. I met a realtor, and I can't remember if it was a transaction or what it was while I was working my state job. She said, Nita, and it was Misha Edwards with Community First. I remember talking to her about it, and she said, let real estate push you out of your state job. I said, okay, what is that going to look like? She said, just you work hard, and you let it push you out. And I launched Durrell Realty Group 2017, March. By the end of the year, I put in my 2 weeks notice because I did the work. Wow. It was the work that went in after hours, before going in.
So how long were you a realtor before you opened Durrell Realty?
I started in 2011. I believe it's been so long.
I know,
2011.
Right? Come on, girl, do the math.
2011.
2017, so 6 years.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
And then you said, okay, I'm doing my own thing.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love it though. I love it.
And when you started, was it just you? Did you?
Yes. I had a talk with Jesus and everything, and I was like, "Oh, it's just gonna be me. I don't want anybody. It's okay. I got this." And he was
everybody
like,
says that.
Yeah,
like, I'm just gonna do it on my own.
And he was like, "Ha ha ha, ha ha ha, Nita."
Like,
yeah. So I always try to keep my team small because I'm one of those. I like to touch people.
Sure.
I like to talk to them.
Right.
I like to find out what's going on. How can I help? And so the way that we are, it's by design because I know that I'm a real personal person. So
sure,
really personable. Yeah.
And tight. So how many agents do you have?
There's 11 of us now.
Okay. All right.
And I kind of like to keep it somewhere around there because it's comfortable.
Sure.
But if God says different, then I just follow suit.
There you go.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
That's amazing. Okay, so wow. What a journey.
Yes. And I loved every bit of it and have learned so much. And just, grateful that I've had some amazing people to hold my hand and to guide me. So
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does, being a realtor look like with a communications background? I'm sure that it's a little different. You're kind of unique, I feel like, because you have all this personality and you have all this just showmanship. And so kind of what does that look different maybe for you?
I think for me, what I've found, especially in marketing, sometimes I see things that other people, don't see.
Right.
I'm very critical of myself. I will tell you that because I'm always looking for excellence. I'm always looking for perfection. I always want people to see the professional that, I can do this side of me, right?
Right.
So it could be difficult, but having those gifts, it's a lot of fun.
Right.
And I think that's what I'm doing now. I've had an opportunity to build a business, to prove myself on the real estate end.
Sure.
So now I'm in a place where I can really have fun with it. And that's where the TV stuff comes in play, and the marketing piece of it. So I get to have fun with it.
Now you're kind of stretching out, maybe
Yes.
being creative and
absolutely
thinking about some new
other
things.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you guys doing videos and podcasts and all?
Currently, yes, I do a lot of video. I may venture into podcasts.
Maybe we'll get you started.
Maybe.
Yeah.
maybe. Yes.
We know a guy that can help you out with
That's
that.
right.
Absolutely. Yeah, we were talking earlier. Yes.
Yeah.
About all the good work he's doing.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Which, by the way, let me give a shout out to KP while we're
That's right.
talking about KP. We're coming to you today from Partee Photography Studio, and KP Partee is our photographer at Central Mississippi Reel Producers, and KP has produced all of our videos from our events, and we've been doing a lot over the last year in the way of reels and podcasts and so forth, and he's done some personal stuff for me as well, and he does a great job, and I highly recommend him to everybody that it has an event or something that you want to do in the way of video or podcast or something. He does a great job.
He does. He's been great today. He's been great.
Yeah.
But we've got to hear more about his exciting adventures over the past week.
Well, yeah, let's also mention that he was just at the Super Bowl
Right.
this past
In
Sunday.
New York.
Hey, you just want to come pull up a chair.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And
He's
he had
shaking
to,
his head at
He's
us.
been all over the place.
yeah, and he went to Vegas from New York City, where he was on
I know. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
He's just living his best life.
Fifth Avenue there. So
Can I just come and hold your camera? For
he's
you?
living the life. That's right.
He is.
Yep.
He definitely
Yep.
is. He
Yep.
is.
Well, that is so much fun. Well, okay, so just before we wrap this up, tell us a little bit about maybe what you would say to other people who are on their real estate journey, maybe just getting started, or this past season in real estate has been tough. And so
It depends on who you ask.
Yeah, right. For some people it hasn't, I guess, but the market has certainly taken a turn, and I'm sure you've seen a lot of that because we've talked about that with different agents. How the longer you're in it, the more you see that ebb and flow. But
That's
for
right.
those who are experiencing maybe that downturn for the first time, what would be your encouragement? To
I
them?
get that question a lot about people wanting to get into real estate. And, I don't ever want to discourage anybody. But I always say, if you're going to make a big change career-wise, make sure you sit down and you put pen to paper. Pen to paper and know exactly what it is that you want. And I'm a believer in prayer. I know it's different for everybody, but sit down and have, whether it's prayer or a moment, and really search, is this what I want to do? Because you're dealing with people who have experiences that come along with them.
Right.
And so you have to have a love for people if you're going to do this. You've got to be able to charter the ups and downs that you see in real estate. And it's not just real estate, it's anything in sales. Especially if you are an independent contractor, you've got to have a plan in place. What I tell my team, and again, anybody that's looking to start, know your numbers. Know what it costs for you to be an independent contractor. Do your research. When anybody comes to me and they say, hey, I want to join your team, I always say, okay, have you interviewed with other people? Because I want you to have an understanding of what commissions are. What do you get, when you join a team? And when you are more knowledgeable about what's out there, then you're able to make better decisions.
Absolutely.
So I try to sit down and give as much information. I've had some that say, well, you know what? I don't think I want to do this. I'm going to stay where I am.
Right.
And then I do have some that get in and they see the ups and downs, or they don't close fast enough. Or, this was not, as easy as I thought. Oh my gosh, this is a lot of paperwork,
Yeah.
And I get it.
There's a lot of things that can go wrong.
That's
with
right.
a transaction.
Absolutely. And so, I have those conversations, especially with those who say, hey, I want to do this. And, after that, whatever they decide, if I feel like, they are a good fit for us, then we sit down and we talk about, what your finances look like, how to build your business, how to market yourself. provide all of that. But then it's up to that individual then to say, okay, I'm going to take that and run with it.
Yeah, you mentioned the word a little while ago, entrepreneur, and I learned the meaning of entrepreneur when I started this business. And you start your own business, and it's being able to go 3 to 6 months without any income.
That's right. That's right.
That's pretty much what you got to be able to do. Is you got to be able to, unless you can hit something right off the bat, but you need to understand that
it's a season of building.
That's
well,
right.
yeah, and you need to understand that you got to do it yourself.
That's right.
And
that's right.
Yeah.
That's
well,
right.
let's just say, I think all three of us would agree, connections and relationships are absolutely what helps build the business, what makes it successful. And so, of course, that's what we're doing with Real Producers, is trying to help build relationships between realtors, partners, people like me who do staging and, connecting with somebody who needs that service. Same thing with our lenders and our roofers, who are offering a service, that y'all need for your clients. But it's more about just knowing like a name on a piece of paper to call. You want somebody that's been recommended, somebody that somebody else has used and said, this one is good. They're going to take care of you. Yep. And that's what we're trying to do, is make sure that, we're offering a good, group of people to y'all and go, hey, these are recommended.
Quality people.
They've been used. They're quality people. They're
show up.
They're going to show up. They're going to stand by you. So,
yeah. Now that you're mentioning that, on page 6 of our magazine every month,
love you.
Page 6 is a list of all of our affiliate partners, our advertising partners. And so for all you realtors or anybody, I highly encourage you to go to page 6 whenever you're looking for someone for whatever your need is in the way of real estate. So
let me ask you guys this.
Sure.
What's been your greatest lesson in being an entrepreneur?
Let you go first.
Well, you know what? It's been a blessing for me, quite honestly. I spent 27 years in the insurance business, and I worked in a corporate environment. I worked for an insurance carrier for carrier for 22 years, and a lot of good things from that as far as benefits and money and all that. But just being able to, it's been a blessing for me working as an entrepreneur or an independent person working with the N2 company. I got very lucky in that, not lucky, but I discovered right off the bat that their heart's in the right place on what they're doing. The two founders of the N2 company, which does Real Producers, are Christians, and it's a very Christian-like culture, and it's about helping people, and that's what I really like about what we're doing at Real Producers. And in regards to that, a portion of every dollar that we bring in from our advertising sales goes to fight human trafficking.
Oh, wow.
Since
amazing.
2015, we've given over $20 million to human trafficking organizations and saved many lives through that. So for me, it's been, it hadn't been easy. I mean, it took me about 5 months or so of trying to sell enough advertising to launch the very first magazine back in July of 2019. Oh, wow. And now we're almost 5 years later, but it's been a great ride so far. I've got a great staff, people that I've been working with, and I've really enjoyed the connection with the real estate community. And at first everybody was kind of like, what is this guy doing?
Who is he?
Who is he and what is he doing? And why is he doing this? And it's too good to be true is some of it. But we don't charge anything to realtors. You're not paying me to do this podcast today, and you don't pay me to be in the magazine.
Right.
You don't pay me to come to these nice events that we do, and you don't pay me to put you on social media and all that. So everything that we do is paid for by our partners, and they are companies and people that want to work with real estate agents. And That's purely what we do, is to help bring industry people together and actually literally put them in the same room with you so they can shake hands and hug necks and build relationships with the real estate community. And that's what Real Producers is all about.
So where do you see Real Producers here in the next 5 years, like in the future?
Ooh, that's a dangerous question to be asking me. But Real Producers is a franchise. And when I brought the franchise here 5 years ago, it was in about 30 other locations around the country. Now it's in over 130 locations around the country.
Oh, wow.
In January of 2023, we started Mississippi Gulf Coast Real Producers. So we're doing this on the Mississippi Gulf Coast now. But there's a Memphis Real Producers, New Orleans Real Producers, Baton Rouge Real Producers, Mobile Real Producers around our area.
Oh, that's
And in all of the major cities around the country, there's Real Producers going. So when I'm getting around to answering your question, it's a franchise. So I have the franchise now. But when I move on, someone else will have the franchise. I will sell the franchise to someone else, and they will continue on with it. So it has a bright future, and as long as real estate markets are around, and Real Producers is still growing like crazy, and so yeah, it's going to be around. We also do, for your information, the N2 company that I mentioned that owns Real Producers started their business 20 years ago now, actually, in homeowner association publications. We do the Stroll Bridgewater, Stroll Lake Caroline, Stroll Reunion, and Stroll Eastover publications. Those homeowner associations have a publication that they do each month where they feature one of the families on the front cover, and it's all about the kids and activities and pets and things going on in those neighborhoods. And those have been around in our area 10 years or more, and those are great publications as well. So,
well, and I do hope that, Real Producers, like you said, that you'll carry it as far as you decide to carry it, and then hopefully it'll go on and somebody will carry it. But there's nobody else doing what we're doing. I mean, nobody else is featuring and celebrating agents this way, and really celebrating them, across a platform where everybody can see it.
Right.
Obviously each group does their own celebration, but really going out there and telling stories
as a collective.
So it's we're really the only people that are doing that right now. And so I think for the real estate community, it's important. And also the socials, bringing everybody together. A lot of times that's just another thing that's really kind of rare, to have everybody in the same room and opportunity to socialize and that kind of thing. And I'd love to go back and answer your question.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Because I was thinking, I so believe, and you touched on this, that as far as entrepreneurship, whenever God has called you into something, and you are walking in what He's called you to, that doors open and relationships form, and there's favor that you can't explain.
Yeah. Yes.
And it's just like, wow, I know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And that has been my experience. And I know, speaking to you and hearing your story, that's been yours. And I know Dee's also same thing. It's for me in my design business, when I felt God saying, hey, this is something I want you to step into, I was like, I don't even know if anybody's doing that. Staging, people even do. I mean, I really didn't.
Yeah.
And at that time, it was a little over 5 years ago. I just didn't know a lot about it. Didn't know a lot about the real estate community. But God gave me some connections right off the bat. And when I tell you, I stepped into that and He just went whoosh. And it was
doors just open.
I mean, I was just like, wow. And it has literally been like that since I started. Like He's just, I've had connection after connection and referral to referral. And I've literally not had to like force anything or try hard for anything. I've really just been able to walk in what He's given me, and the doors that have opened before me. And even stepping into this has just been something, God gave me an opportunity to do, and I love it. And so I just think that is the number one thing. Make sure you're walking in your calling.
Yes.
What God has called you to do, the talents that He's giving you.
What does He say? Your gifts will make room for you.
That's right. Yes. That's right. Because when you are, it works out. Does that mean it's not going to be hard? No, certainly. Yeah. You'll have some tough, hard days. Like Dee was saying, it takes work to build something, but when God is pouring out favor and blessing and open doors, you can see it, you can feel it, and you're in the right place.
That's right.
if God's in it and your heart's in it, it's going to work.
That's right.
You still have to work hard
Amen.
and just don't quit.
Amen.
That's right. Yep.
You're absolutely right. Well, thank y'all so much for having me today.
Well, thank you for being here with us. It's been a lot of fun. It's been great to hear your story and learn more about you. And you.
I have a feeling she's gonna be like some famous, TV person one day. We're gonna be like, we knew her.
Well, I know.
I'm serious.
Well, as a matter of fact,
I'll receive that.
She kept talking about going up the ladder there in state government. I wonder why she left before becoming governor.
There you go.
So
Probably could have. Gotta take care of those babies first.
Yes, that's right. That's priority.
Get them graduated before we get too big.
Yeah, that's priority. My little girls. Yes. Yeah, they are.
Okay, well, I guess we'll wrap it up. Thank you, Nita Durrell,
Yes.
Durrell Realty Group, and congratulations on all your success.
Thank you.
I know you'll continue to have success going forward too.
Yes, sir.
So, thanks again to KP, Kaylin Partee Photography, for hosting our podcast again, and we look forward to seeing you again very soon. Happy Valentine's Day.
I know you're going to see this in like a week.
Right.
That's okay, though.
Right.